Hey guys, home with Bearable Traders, Thursday, August 22nd, 2019. Quick recap for today. I had 4 trades, 2 of them at the end, took a couple of stabs to get a good entry, but we'll go over that in a minute. Not a huge day, but you know, I've kind of toned it down a little bit for August. It's typically a pretty quiet month. This has been the exception of the rule, but I'm just waiting for the day to come in and it be normal August. Hadn't gotten there yet. Anyway, this morning, Nordstrom reported earnings, and this was kind of a bonehead trade here. It was gapping up pre-market. I thought maybe this was a little bit overdone. Started testing these moving averages. It was just below VWAP. I took a short. I actually could have partialed out a little bit of this for a tiny scalp. I didn't. I was hoping to get a better move, bounce right back to VWAP, and I took... I got out of this just essentially just worse than break even. So nothing terrible. I realized that I wasn't seeing things right here. Then came Dick's. Dick's once again had been gapping up, and it looked to me at the time, for whatever reason, like this had gapped up, maybe some profit taking here at the open, and I thought it was going to run it, put in this bottom, and it level 2 or something. I'm not quite sure what I saw. This was a bonehead trade. I got out of it almost immediately at break even, realizing, okay, I need to go reset my mind. And so I walked to the other room, grabbed a cup of tea, came back a couple minutes later, saw a target that I had on my list from yesterday. So this one was a clear setup to me that actually made sense. So I noticed that it had come down. You had the 200 on the 1 minute. You had the 50 on the 5 minute sloping up. Came down the first 5 minutes, and once it approached it, wicked way back up, very strong. It was very strong yesterday when it gapped up on earnings, and I was looking for maybe a little bit of a continuation play. The second time it came down and wicked right back up, and I was waiting on this. I actually got into it, not the best entry, but I was concerned I was going to miss it on this double bottom. This had a higher low, and I went ahead and took it here and got stopped out again at break even. A little bit later, so then my third stab, and I thought I was going to get through VWAP, and I held too long. Some of these times in the summer, you have to scalp the open because the moves just chop you around for a little bit. So then I saw this, and it made a new low, but it only made a new low by a couple of cents. It was very, very tiny. So while not a perfect double bottom in my mind that it came down here, it was so close that I could see that it wasn't firing stops. Usually I would anticipate somebody took a long in that trade to stop right below it, and then if it hit it, it would accelerate downward, and it had none of that. So it showed some underlying strength in it, that when it did go down, it was getting bopped right back up. So I decided to give it one more shot. This was the third try on this. Got it just off this low a day, got a good entry at 104, and drove higher through VWAP through 105. There was really no reason in here for me to get out of any of it, and I actually ended up, I saw this at 105, it did start to look pretty weak. Instead of continuing up and testing pre-market high, I was concerned that we were now starting to get lower highs on the day. So when it failed to make a new high, I went ahead and flipped my mindset. I got out of this, waited for a decent entry. I thought we were going to break through VWAP and go right then. Finally got the entry I wanted, so I did try it right there, got out of it. Now, second time's a charm on this one. Waited for 105 and took it short right there. Got my first partial through VWAP. And then you can see as it approached this moving average, which was support earlier in the day, I took more off. As I went through it, I took more off. And then through 104, and then low of day, which the break right here and break of the moving average on the 5, I partialed more out, put a range order in. I thought it was weak enough we were going to test previous day close. SPY was also extremely weak at the time. I thought that was going to help the cause and get us down there. So I just had a tiny portion of this left, went ahead and got stopped out as it broke through VWAP that second time. So 2 losers, 2 winners. The 2 winners took me a couple of stabs to get a good entry in. Target is a whippy stock. It can be a little difficult to trade. I knew it might take a time or two. So just manage those tiny losses on those and then let the bigger trend move. So anyway, thank you for watching. Trade safe, and I'll see you tomorrow in the chat.